You're watching WCTV, Thomasville, Tallahassee, Valdosta. From the WCTV studios, news with Frank Ranicky and Julie Montanaro. Pinpoint weather with meteorologist Mike McCall. And sports with Bo Bishop. This is the award-winning Eyewitness News at 6.
Good evening, everyone. A suspicious package halts bus service and snarls rush hour traffic in Tallahassee this morning. We'll have a live report in just a moment.
First, it is opening day of Florida's 2007 legislative session, a day for Governor Charlie Crist to deliver his first State of the State address. Mike Vasalinda downtown with more on what the governor had to say and how his address was received. Mike?
Well, good evening, Frank. This is the 34th time that I've heard a governor deliver a State of the State address, and I've got to tell you, in tone and content, it was like none I have seen before. Now, I got a chance to talk to the governor's father a little earlier this afternoon, and he said that even at age 50, his son continues to surprise him, and I think after today's speech, that's true of most members of the legislature as well. After 64 days as governor, Charlie Crist has concluded
that the state of our state is strong and promising.
The address is the governor's chance to give lawmakers his laundry list of things he wants. On the top, property tax relief. The governor says he doesn't care how it gets done.
It must be comprehensive. It must bring real relief to our people.
The governor also wants a children's cabinet to address kids' issues.
Our children need a voice. They need to be at the table, because soon it will be their table.
And after invoking the names of slain children Jessica Lunsford, Sarah Lundy, and Carly Bruscia, Crist called on lawmakers to send parole violators back to prison.
I have witnessed firsthand the unimaginable limits of human grief when a parent loses a child to violent crime.
The governor is also calling for a return to paper ballots before the next election. Bipartisan reaction to the speech afterwards was one of optimism. Even most Democrats are applauding.
I feel that the door is open. I know that you can talk to this man, and that is miles away from where we've been over the last 7 years.
59 days remain in the legislative session. After today, the honeymoon will start to tarnish in the details of lawmaking. Now, near the end of his speech today, the governor started asking a lot of questions. Can we be the best at educating our children? Can Florida be a safe place? Can Florida remain affordable? And each time he said, why not? He also quoted Democrat Robert Kennedy from his presidential run by saying that some people look at things and ask why. And then he told his audience, I dream of a better Florida and ask why not. Now, after a speech like that, even those who may disagree with the governor may find it hard to disagree with the spirit of cooperation that he's trying to create here, Frank.
All right, Mike Vasalinda live from the Florida Capitol. Thanks for that report.
Thanks, Mike. Well, local lawmakers are once again calling for bigger raises and better retirement benefits for state workers. Senator Al Lawson is also pushing for an increase in the cigarette tax. He says it would make tobacco products less accessible to minors and would generate $850 million toward health care improvements.
We want to increase cigarette taxes so we can provide more funding for cancer research, for the Heart Association, and I think it's the right thing to do if we're going to curtail young people from smoking in the state of Florida.
Lawson adds the increase would re-energize efforts of past sessions to curb tobacco use among teenagers in the state of Florida. Well, some folks pouring into downtown for opening day were forced to take a detour this morning, and others couldn't catch the bus to work.
A suspicious package was found at the downtown bus terminal, closing down streets and causing quite a stir. Eyewitness News reporter Alyssa Trussell at the news desk now with the latest on that. Alyssa?
A lot of commotion this morning, that's for sure. Traffic was backed up. The bus terminal actually had to be relocated a block away, and even a nearby preschool was put on lockdown.
Not the usual scene on the first day of Florida's legislative session. Instead of traffic flowing smoothly, commuters and politicians going to the Capitol hit a roadblock.
I was driving down to the Capitol, and as I crossed over Tennessee, I noticed that police cars were cutting it off all the way down to the Bullwinkles area, and a lot of police cars.
The mayhem all caused by this. Suspicious packages sitting on this bench in Terminal Q of the Star Metro bus station.
It was a brand new box that was taped up with a backpack on the top and on the side, both of them brand new. And it's kind of hard to find in the city that someone would leave brand new stuff sitting around.
We evacuated the bus station and then brought in the members of our hazardous device team.
It happened at the downtown bus terminal just before rush hour, backing up traffic on a lot of these area roads and sending a lot of people into a panic.
I said if they bomb up the school, I'm gonna be scared half to death because we got kids in there, and some of them girls in there is pregnant. And I was fearing for my life because I was scared when I heard that.
A couple hours later, the man who owned the packages walked up, not knowing anything unusual had happened.
I left with a friend, and he left. I wouldn't have looked for work.
No charges against this homeless man, just a lesson learned to hold on to your belongings.
Wow.
So no threat there. Just kind of ironic that all of this happened on the opening day of session when a lot more people happen to be in town.
Yeah, it's certainly not related either, though. But what ended up being in those packages, Alyssa?
Well, it was actually just his clothing, a towel, a razor, just some of his personal belongings. But I guess when you've got a box sealed up like that and nobody knows what it is, it's just better to be safe than sorry.
That it is. All right, Alyssa Trussell, live from the news desk. Thanks.
Thanks, Alyssa. A building in downtown Thomasville collapsed today, leaving some folks without power. Police say no one was in the building when it fell. Witnesses say about 9 o'clock they heard a loud cracking and within seconds heard a thunderous crash and watched as that building crumbled, taking a power line down with it.
The building when it fall, need to call somebody because the late twisting. I seen smoke and fire shooting out the wires up there.
Police say the building used to be a car dealership, but it's been vacant now for more than 30 years.
A Tallahassee attorney long active in women's rights issues has just been placed on probation by the Florida Supreme Court. We spoke with Linda Miklowitz at a recent Roe v. Wade anniversary vigil this week. Florida's High Court placed her on emergency probation and ordered her to undergo a psychiatric review to make sure she's fit to practice law. The Florida Bar filed a complaint against Miklowitz, citing her behavior in a recent contract dispute and a personal injury case. Miklowitz has until March 15th to respond.
Children in Leon County schools may soon be fingerprinted and swabbed for DNA samples. It's a voluntary program that encourages parents to fill out a child ID packet and keep it in a safe place at home, just in case. No parent wants to contemplate it, a child being kidnapped or disappearing on the way home from school.
It stays in the back of my mind often that, somebody could snatch him up or, kidnap him or even come to the house and take him.
Leon County schools are teaming up with the Florida Sheriff's Association, school superintendents, and the American Coaches Association to offer these child identification kits.
5 minutes max. 5 minutes.
Complete with inkless fingerprint towelette, a DNA collection swab, and a place for a current picture.
Their children grow so fast. They see them every day. How tall are they? How much do they weigh? What did they have on? I think.
The National Child Identification Program will be introduced in all 67 Florida counties in the next year. So should the unthinkable happen, those kits can quickly become police bulletins and flyers and boost the chances of children coming home.
And I do plan to get this kit because you just never know about children, especially small ones, And I wanted to try to get it done as soon as possible.
Superintendent Jackie Pond says the ID kits will be available for students in both public and private schools free of charge through school offices, rec centers, and PTOs. It's completely voluntary. Parents fill this out and keep it at home, and let's hope they never need to turn it over to law enforcement in the event of a child missing.
And you brought some with you, and
it's a simple little brochure that you can fill out. The deputy was showing you a copy of it there. Also, this is the DNA swab that you use to take a swab of your child's mouth, and a little inkless fingerprinting towelette. So it's not supposed to be too messy.
Okay,
so
not too bad.
You'll be seeing those in the schools soon.
All right, there's much more ahead on this area's news leader. Proposed legislation would have the Peach State following Florida's lead with school vouchers, but is it the right choice for special needs children?
And maintaining your child's innocent spirit, a local organization has some suggestions to help you do just that. 134 of them, in fact.
First, Chief Meteorologist Mike McCall in the Pinpoint Weather Center, and hey, an instant replay would be nice, Mike, tomorrow.
Perhaps we'll see something very similar. In fact, we may see some 70s for several more days. We'll talk about it coming up later.
You're watching Eyewitness News on WCTV with Frank Renneke and Julie Montanaro. Closed captioning is brought to you as a public service of WCTV.
School vouchers have been in and out of court in Florida for years.
Now Georgia may take a crack at that voucher program too, but Eyewitness News reporter Angelica Alvarez tells us a lot of folks are not happy about it.
Georgia legislators are considering a bill that would use state money to provide vouchers for students with special needs to go to private schools. But administrators say they don't provide everything a student with disabilities needs for a complete education.
Of course, it provides funds for parents to take their child to a different setting, but it doesn't provide the same quality of services, doesn't say that they must provide the same quality of services.
School officials say there are a few places private schools fall short when it comes to special needs education. The teachers do not have to be certified to teach special ed students. There are no special needs requirements. They're not required to keep the students after admission, and they're not required to provide related services such as physical therapy or assistive technology. And public schools could take a hard fall from this bill.
They're not enrolled in our school system. We will not be earning funding for them, so we will be taking that funding from our allotment and sending that to the private schools, and that eventually could hurt a public school system.
As far as the benefits, administrators say the voucher program allows parents to decide where their child goes to school. This bill is still being considered, but public school officials say they're doing everything they can to make sure lawmakers vote no. Angelica Alvarez, WCTV Eyewitness News, Thomas County.
Administrators say even though a voucher program already exists in Florida, not enough research has been done to know whether that program is a benefit for special needs students.
Cracking open a book can open up a whole new world for children, fueling their curiosity and creativity. Leon County's Whole Child program has come up with a list of books to help parents nurture their children's spiritual growth. Team members say it's important to maintain a child's sense of wonder, and reading gives them the vocabulary to do that.
Vocabulary, first of all, opens up a whole world to children. You know, if they're able to express themselves, that's just a huge benefit for them, not only with their spiritual growth, but in life in general. So we've developed this list. We have also selected books, and we think the reading tips that we provided, the whole thing, the whole combination will really help parents.
And there are 134 books on the recommended reading list.
Do animals have feelings? I like that. I'm sure they do. I know they do.
Yeah.
Sure they do.
Well, will this mild March last through the rest of the week? Mike's up next with the answer in his 5-day forecast. And the FSU Hoops team gears up for the ACC tourney.
Bo has that and more straight ahead, but first, here's what you'll see at 6:30 on the CBS Evening News.
Hi there. Early screening for breast and colon cancer saves countless lives, but what about CT scans for lung cancer? We'll talk with dueling doctors about 2 new studies. That story and much more tonight on the CBS Evening News. We hope to see you then.
You're watching Pinpoint Weather on WCTV with meteorologist Mike McCall.
Seeing green means seeing more money from the savings you'll get at Legacy Toyota. That's right. Shop Legacy Toyota and you'll save thousands on the purchase of your next vehicle. It gets even greener with easy financing like no money down and no payments for 90 days on brand new Toyotas now in stock. And at Legacy Toyota, you'll get your price and payment in 15 minutes. Take delivery in 1 hour. Plus, when we do business, we'll pay off your trade no matter what you owe. So get more savings and see some green. Only at Legacy Toyota.
Remember, Legacy Toyota, you have no payments for 90 days.
Remember when long distance was really expensive? You remember. Then we got a choice. Now long distance calls are just pennies a minute. Remember when cell phones were a luxury? Now we have lots of choices, and the cost has plummeted. So, do you have a real choice to cable TV? Looked at your cable bill lately? Call your legislator. Florida deserves a real choice to cable TV. It's time. Paid for by TV for Us.
Are you living with chronic pain from a lumbar or cervical spine problem? Have you been told that you just have to live with your pain? And are you finding that you just can't? The Bonati Institute near Tampa, Florida can restore your hope, even if you've had previous spine surgery that failed. The Bonati procedures are over 90% successful in ending pain from lumbar and cervical spine problems. So you can get back to living and loving it.
You deserve more. More style, more selection, more expertise. Menswear is our only business, so you always get more at S&K. Right now, get an all-wool Daniel Gray trio suit with an extra pair of pants for just $199.99. Get a second suit for 50% off. Pick any 2 shirts, and the third shirt is free. Choose any pair of designer silk ties and get a third one free. Now that's more like it. It's time you got more. That's the S&K advantage. Better quality, better service, better prices.
Mike is here on a day where we wish we could have just an open-air office. It was
right,
gorgeous.
that's for sure. And this is like Chamber of Commerce weather for all the folks who are coming back to Tallahassee for session. Welcome back.
Right.
It's like this all the time.
Right, yeah, even when you're not here, it's like this. Yeah.
Well, okay, maybe it's not quite like this all the time, but nice stuff today. We got some more of this coming up the next several days. Now, if you need some rainfall, and a lot of us thinking about the spring gardens, well, nothing doing anytime soon. It was cold. Shouldn't plant anything yet because we may still have one more freeze, folks. You got to wait till we at least get the middle of March before you can discount some frosts and freezes. So let's wait another week or two before you start getting things in the ground anyway. 28 this morning, Tallahassee, and up to 73 this afternoon. Thomasville ranging from 36 to 71. So pretty close to average on the high end of the scale, but certainly well below average this morning, but very dry. No rainfall to be seen. Now the deficit for the year over 2.5 inches. Current temperatures, though, nice. 70 Tallahassee, 68 Valdosta. Humidity still way down there, 23 and 27%. Light northerly winds. When it's the wind coming in from the land, that keeps things nice and dry. Most of the southeast still pretty mild, too, from 69 in Montgomery to a 68 in Jackson. A little cooler for Nashville and Raleigh, only in the 50s. But locally, we've been talking about temperatures well into the 70s this afternoon, slowly cooling off now. Live Oak has 68, Cross City with a 71. Jacksonville, kind of a chilly 60 degrees. Then it jumps to 70 for Waycross and Moultrie. Albany and Thomasville at 69. And head down toward the coast, Apalachicola, well, the wind coming off that cool water now at 62 degrees. But Bainbridge is at 72 along with Blakely, and Mariana has a 70. Now, overnight tonight, we'll have some high clouds coming in. They will not be rain producers, so lows will only fall into the mid-30s. I'd say only fall. It's still going to be pretty chilly, but then the daytime highs tomorrow continue to inch up the scale into the mid to upper 70s. Here come the high clouds. But again, these are not going to do anything to help us out in the way of rainfall. And the closest rainfall the next 2 to 3 days will be well to our east over the Atlantic waters. Even as we head toward Thursday, while I think we may see some more clouds around, I just don't see any rainfall just yet, but slight chances are coming up in the long-range forecast. More on that when we come back.
This must be Bill's new Toyota Camry.
Yeah.
Nice rims.
V6, dual exhaust. This thing must fly.
You probably got a raise.
Yeah. And a promotion. Yeah.
Bill's our new boss.
Oh, I sent him your email.
I am so fired.
Yeah, I'd fire you.
The all-new Toyota Camry. It'll get people talking.
We've got a lot of visitors from around the state of Florida, but if you're visiting from the Northeast, be glad you're here. Look at what's going on up there. 7 degrees right now in Buffalo, 11 in Boston, 4 below 0 in Caribou. That's the middle of winter, folks. Even though it's March, they don't know it up there. They still got some snow going on, another burst of snow moving across the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes. So other parts of the country deep into wintertime stuff. For us, as you can see, it's very quiet. And our weather typically this time of year comes from the west. Very quiet out there, too, so no changes coming up. Maybe a better chance for showers coming up next week, but I don't see much between now and then. Easterly winds in the Gulf tomorrow be coming onshore by afternoon, but just 5 to 10 knots, so your Gulf seas 2 feet or less, mostly smooth for the bays and inland waters. Your Wednesday tide times for Steinhatchee, Apalachicola, Carabel, and also for the St. Marks River entrance, as always, available too at WCTV6.com. Still pretty chilly tonight, mid to upper 30s to around 40 degrees. Maybe 1 or 2 patches of frost, but not as much as the last couple of mornings. Then 76 tomorrow afternoon, so we'll go a little bit warmer in the afternoon. May go just a little bit warmer still for Thursday, and that's about it. The morning lows start creeping up, but the daytime highs stay in the mid-70s. Eventually, a slightly better chance of showers as we move into the weekend, but only 20 to 30%. And hopefully the Red Hills horse trials will stay rain-free. They've had lots of rain in previous years, but this year looks pretty good.
Yeah, and good weather for the breakfast in the park for springtime in the morning.
Bright and early
Bright
tomorrow,
and early, that's for sure.
Bring your appetite.
Mike. Yep.
Well, Bo is here now, and we're excited to see FSU. Can they take it to the next level?
Come on, let's get Al going, okay?
Well, you know, it's not him.
Okay.
He got 45 last time out. He'll show up. The question is, did that 45 result in him being the ACC Player of the Year? The vote is out. How did Big L fare? Stick around.
You're watching Eyewitness Sports on WCTV with Bo Bishop.
Hi folks, I'm Bert Eisen with Travel Country RV Center, and I'd like to personally invite you to come out and enjoy this spring in a new RV. That's right, spring is almost here and we're here to help. Brand new travel trailer starting at $119 a month. New fifth wheel starting at $227 a month. A new Class C from $391 a month. And a new Class A for only $545 a month. Don't forget about our great selection of pre-owned RVs, all with our exclusive 39-point safety inspection. Get out of the house spring celebration. It's happening this weekend, Lake City, Florida and Lake Park, Georgia.
You can do it, and then just relax and follow through. You know, it never hurts to get a little help from an expert. If you have water in your basement or mold and mildew, get help from the experts at Ocean. They use a water lock system, so you get a lifetime transferable warranty. Nice going. Ocean since 1933. Fix it with Ocean.
And fix it for good.
Got a question? Ask the experts.
Hey there, good to see you. In the modern era of Florida State basketball, Al Thornton is the cream of the crop. He's the only FSU player to be unanimous All-ACC first-team selection, and more history today as Thornton finishes tops for a Seminole all-time and Player of the Year balloting. Thornton with 30 first-place votes, most ever received by a Seminole, and good for a second-place finish behind Boston College's Jared Dudley. Dudley finished with 45 votes. Thornton may have deserved the award more than Dudley, though. His 20.7 rebound averages jumped to 23 in 5 and 8 in ACC play. That scoring average tops in the ACC. This came down to wins and losses. If FSU were 9-7 in conference play instead of 7-9, Al would have the award. The disappointment of not winning, though, will quickly go away if he can lead his team to the tourney come Selection Sunday.
It would mean a lot, you know what I'm saying? It would mean a lot to us. It would mean a lot to our coaching staff, you know, but that's what Coach Ham does. He comes in and turns programs around, and, you know, I think it'll be a great thing because it'll get that tradition going back again. And, you know, the next year team, they'll know how to get it done. So hopefully, if we can get it done, it'll become habit.
The All-MEAC teams were announced today. To my surprise, just one Rattler on the first and second teams. To the shock of who it was, there is none. Rome Sanders, the second choice on the first team. This weekend, Sanders and the rest of his Rattler mates head to Raleigh for the MEAC tourney. The conference title well within their reach. Will Fam seize the moment? Melissa Makos with that.
If they want to dance among the NCAA tournament brackets, the FAMU Rattlers need to win the MEAC championship. Their road to the big dance begins Wednesday night in the MEAC tournament.
We're going to have to be good people right now in the tournament because it's one and done.
Howard and Hampton tip off at 6:30, so someone's season will be done tonight. The winner plays FAM tomorrow.
Whether it be Howard or Hampton, it really doesn't matter. Obviously, Hampton has given us a little bit of a problem in our 2 losses. We've turned the ball over a little bit too much, but if we can correct that problem, I certainly like our chances on Wednesday night. And again, if we're going to win the tournament, you've got to beat 3 good teams anyway. You got to play well in all 3 games, and you might as well start Wednesday evening.
If FAM wins their first game, they'll play Friday in the semis, and if they win again, they play in the championship game on Saturday. And if they're crowned MEAC champs, a dancing they will go for the second time in 4 years. Melissa Makos, WCTV Eyewitness Sports.
Things went from bad to not so bad for the Valdosta State basketball team over the weekend. Despite losing in round 1 of the Gulf South tourney, Coach Mike Helfer's team is NCAA tournament bound. Blazers get in as a 7 seed and face Rollins College this Saturday in the D2 South Regional in Montevallo, Alabama.
It's a new season. Everybody's 0-0, and basically only one team advances out on that line, and whoever wins is going to advance, whoever loses is going home. So you're kind of approaching it. You have your preseason, your conference season, and now the postseason, and you know, we're just trying to approach it as a new day and a new game.
Keep waiting for the bubble to burst for the Florida State baseball team. At some point, they will lose and stop hitting the cover off the ball. Whenever that comes, I hope we look back on this team as what they've done so far. 17-0 start is the best in school history. Currently, 6 Seminole starters hit over .435, and the lowest batting average on a regular is .317. The pitching has been equally sublime. All 3 weekend starters have an ERA under 2.63. So far, so very good for Coach Martin.
Other than the pitching, you look at the catching, and Buster Posey is basically telling the other club, do not try to run, you better not get big leads, and it makes it easier for our infielders.
In brief tonight, the Miami Dolphins make a splash in free agency as they sign former Pittsburgh Steelers All-Pro linebacker Joey Porter to a multi-year deal. Michigan forecaster, 2:30, straight line, straight shooting. Get out there, get it done at that time. Our coverage of the ACC tourney will begin tomorrow. We'll be at the FSU shoot-around, 10 a.m. down in Tampa. Rob, Shaw, and I making the trip tonight.
Have a safe trip. All right.
Thanks, Bill.
Bring back some wins, can ya?
Yeah, 2 at least.
All right. We'll be back.
I'm Cy Eubanks of Eubanks, Barrett & Facey. Have you ever been in an accident and given a statement to an insurance adjuster? If so, you probably experienced the feeling that the insurance agent is looking for ways to defeat your claim. Don't go into the legal arena without legal advice. We've handled thousands of accident cases in Tallahassee, and we've probably handled a case just like yours. Call experience. Call Eubanks, Barrett & Facey at 224-3310.
Got a question? Ask the experts on WCTV6.com is your online source for answers anytime.
For more than 40 years now, the Earl Bacon Agency has had the good fortune of attracting some of the brightest insurance minds in the business. Happily, we're able to share that accumulated knowledge through WCTV's Ask the Expert program. Simply go to the website, click on the Ask the Expert tab, and email us your questions on business, personal, or professional insurance, health coverage, or retirement plans, and one of our licensed professionals will provide you the answer.
Coming up later tonight on Eyewitness News at 11, another bookkeeper is caught bilking her employer out of thousands of dollars. A grocery store is the target of Taxi the Getaway Car. How it all ended for 3 bandits tonight at 11. Plus, a city councilman on probation. Join John and Jen tonight. Well, the Red Hills horse trials get underway this weekend in Tallahassee. That's
right, and today 2 of our reporters got a chance to horse around a little bit before all the competition kicked off. The 3-day event brings in tens of thousands of spectators to Tallahassee watching riders compete in various courses. Today, the media getting a chance to saddle up for the ride of their lives, like Eyewitness News reporters Maurice Estime. Lenitra Bennett took on the challenge. Riding horses for the very first time. Giddy up, girls. Those who compete say the course is a challenge for the athletes as well. Reporters, they said they were nervous at first, but look at that. They calmed down and enjoyed the ride. By the way, the horse trials get underway for the pros on Friday.
Is that her galloping? Oh, no.
No gallop. No gallop. A slow walk, and that's it. For now, that's our 6 o'clock report. For Mike and Bo, I'm Frank Reinecke.
Dressage, jumping,
Sure,
anyone?
why not so much?
I'm Julie Montanaro, CBS TV News. Next.
I'm Katie Couric. Guilty. Scooter Libby is convicted in the CIA leak case.